In this video, a green tea pretending to be a Sheng.
Let's find out why.
Hi guys, this is Dimitri from Nannuoshan.
And this is Gabriele. Dimitri, we usually love to share our pleasure for drinking and discovering green tea.
That is something that I feel like I've heard you say before.
Sometimes I do say that. And today we have a new green tea. You have never drunk it. I
Nope.
never drank it. Let's drink it. So this is, by the way, the first video in a video that we are doing. So we are recording another video that you probably have seen last week, but not sure.
This is videoception level 2.
This is exactly so. But that's all. We decided to do a video in a video. After 3 years of YouTubing every single week, I think that's the first time. So we're going to the next level. Let's have a look at the leaves. These are the leaves. I'll show you in the side camera, and hope you can see them. So the Hakka green tea. Let's find out more about these rather grayish large leaves.
They're unusual.
Let's wait just 2 grams. Let's go standard because this will be our standard tasting of a new tea that Dimitri uses to then describe the tea online. So it requires using the same quantities that we suggest on the website, that of course are not mandatory, are just suggestion, and you use your own taste to variate those. We go very light on green tea. We say 2 grams for 150 milliliter. And then what with fairly long steeping time and only 3 brew. Of course, you can go with 3 gram, 4 gram, 5 gram and just shorten that brewing and also do more steeps. So everything works. How is it working?
Some different temperature.
Doesn't work.
It's a little bit, want to be a little bit precise, but
Okay.
if you can be, just gonna
My water.
touch this a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, just like that. The water is
There we
at
go.
80 degrees, so
2.1 grams. That's
2.1 grams. So
pretty
here we are.
precise.
Yeah, that's the quantity that we have. Not much. So what we can say about the leaves is that
Very interesting appearance. I mean, that we have some buds in here.
and
some,
very silver
Very,
buds.
yeah.
Let's see if I can show that to the camera. It's very silver buds that you can see here.
long and twisted, very narrowly twisted, some of the larger leaves.
And fairly large leaves. Probably is Daejong, a large leaf variety, and a Sanica variety that is quite common in Guangdong. And we're going just to put all the leaves, and we do it our standard. This is about 150 milliliter gallon, I think.
With
It
80
is fresh,
80 degrees.
80 degrees. It is very fresh, so we're not going to wash it. And we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's about a minute. Where I have a timer. We don't have a timer. Do you have a timer?
We just put it in about 10 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Okay, 15 there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And so we had in the past the Nannuoshan Cha, which is a black tea from a large leaf variety, and so on and so forth. There are videos about it. We are not going now to repeat all the story. If you're interested, and if it's really true that I did a video, don't remember, you will find the link. You will find the link.
If not, you
up to
should,
the right.
because it's very interesting.
If not, I
tea.
should. And now we have an
Yeah.
opportunity because we received that again, the fresh one from this year. So from those of you that were expecting the Nannuoshan Cha to come back, he's coming back. Might not be online by the time you watch this video, but will come online soon. And now this producer is specialized in black tea. So he does that one. Then we have a Nannuoshan Cha that we will use only for some private collection testing on 1 minute.
Yeah.
On Discord. By the way, Discord link in the description below if you want to join our Discord community for free tea classes and much more. And
He's a very small scale producer, it should also be said. Like,
oh yeah, it's super. It's just himself. So he owns just one field, the one in the forest, and all the rest is just basically get the rights to harvest leaves
And the
and manufacture them.
Nannuoshan Cha is also made from the same leaves.
Yes, well, not from the same leaves. No, it's made from Danson leaves at the university. They have fields. They will cultivate tea at university, and he's allowed to use those. Yeah, he paid for getting a permission for a certain number of years. Now, this tea come from, I think the name is Meijo, which is a county in the northeast of Guangdong, so also northern and eastern than Guangzhou. And there is a minority in this area that is called Hakka, and you can search online. There are quite some information to find around, but it's a minority with their own language that is still recognized and spoken today. So, and this tea was made by the minority. So since it is a local tea, and he's local from there, it's not a tea that he made himself. He just bought it from the minority, and is offering to his customer, which is us
in this case.
Let's try.
Oh,
it's really good.
It's good. It's balanced. It had first like a slight moment of pungency, but actually the liquor as a whole is quite balanced, both in mouthfeel and flavor. Ooh, the aftertaste.
Super interesting. It's I'd say it's remarkable, in particular because it's not that expensive if you compare with other green tea that we have. Yeah, it's not that expensive. I wasn't expecting it to be so bright in taste. Yeah.
It is very, and it has this, I want to describe the texture, particularly the sort of aftertaste texture, is almost watery, not in a thin way, but like some type of mineral water. It has this cleanness to it, but it also slightly more viscous than just water. Almost sweet, but not quite sweet, if that makes any sense.
Let's have a look at the leaves. So let's see how they look like here on the side camera. Let's say it's fairly large. Beautiful indeed, actually.
Yeah. Guys, this is already my favorite tea of this year, and it's which is unfair.
Just the first one.
At least a favorite green tea, but this is a potential outstanding, like deserving of special remark.
Let's do another 60 seconds, right? For the second
60 seconds usually good.
Okay.
It's kind of a pretty standard.
Let's see how it behaves. And then we are still to tell a secret, because Dimitri told you in the hook at the beginning that this tea is pretending being a Sheng.
Ah, yes.
Why is pretending being a Sheng?
Yeah.
Well, okay, it is the Dai Zhong, so it is largely variety, but that's not the reason why it's pretending being a Sheng.
Why is it pretending to be a Sheng?
Yeah, I'll tell you during the second brew. Maybe a little bit hotter now, but we can cool it down. Do you have a timer, Dimitri?
I do. I'll just look at it.
15.
15. Yeah.
Again. Oh no, I'm boiling the water. Stop. All right. So let's see how does it behave. I like to brew green tea with an open lid.
The lid off. That's a good.
So as I often say, we see also quite some bubble here. Yeah.
Which should indicate a bit of pectin, no?
Yeah, if that's the name, I don't remember. These chemical element that is in tea and that create this kind of soapy, bubbles.
Texture.
There is a nice article. If I remember, I put the link in the description below. Written by the owner of that tea house in Washington D.C. where I did the video.
Ah, yes.
And he has a very nice blog.
Is it Valley Brook?
Valley Brook Tea. And he has a very nice blog. And his blog, there is an article only about what creates bubbles in tea. A minute is over.
Yep.
Getting darker.
A little bit.
So I expect it to be more savory.
We can see a lot of the hairs floating in the.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of opacity.
So why is this tea pretending being a Sheng? let's do that. Dimitri, you concentrate on your 3 adjective and your description, right?
Yeah.
Because
First impressions. It's very good. I'm getting a little... So, something we, even when opening the bag, that we noticed, I think we both thought, was that it reminds us of another green tea that we had from years past, the Yunsi.
yeah,
It's also largely varietal.
from Yunnan in that case.
Yunnan. And it has a little bit of this pineapple, tropical fruit direction.
Yeah, I remember that.
You get
yeah.
that? It
yeah.
was...
Not as much pronounced, I would say, but I would say that Yunsi was also a less finer tea in taste.
It was
This
very
is more
rich
delicate.
in terms of... It was very, like, vegetal rich, which
Yeah.
is very nice.
And a little bit of aggressive in a way. This is not. This is very mild, smooth in a way. And now, to give you a hint of why this is pretending being a Sheng, and is a big hint, it's that when I asked the guy to send over... So how that works, first of all. So he's a friend. Yeah, I've visited him in Guangdong. We have been together. We went together to the hood, to the forest, where he showed me the trees and so on. Nonetheless, since I cannot go there to taste the tea, we have tasters, and those tasters are spread in different cities. So he had to send some samples of this tea to our friend for tasting the tea and decide whether it was the quality good according to the price and so on. So he sent out the samples, and the sample were the Danzang Honcha, the Da Ye Honcha, and the Hakka green tea. But instead of 3 bags, there were 4.
Okay.
Why? Because he sent to him the Hakka green tea from 2022 and 2021.
Okay.
And so I asked why. Yeah, and he said, yeah, because for this tea you have to wait at least a year until it becomes mellow and round.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, more like a black tea or some
A roasted yancha.
Yeah.
And so I asked why. Yeah, he said, yeah, because for the minority don't necessarily drink it fresh. And he said this tea is actually better if you store it. And I'm curious to see how it evolves, because say I like it fresh. And so I said, all right, the price was good. I bought 10 kilogram, which I mean, for us is a relatively large quantity of green tea. Usually we want to sell green tea within a year.
Yeah. So usually, I don't know, half a kilo, 1 kilo.
Yeah, sometimes also 3 kilogram, let's say, depending. But there are, well, half a kilo, no, but there are tea we buy only 1 kilo.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they are very expensive, or 3-4 kilos, so that we can offer many different teas, and after a year, more or less, they're gone.
Yeah, it's the idea, so they're fresh.
Right. So, and by the way, during this video, we will also give an hint for a major discount. So, be there. Anyway, so when I heard about that, I thought, okay, I will buy large quantities, and similarly as done for the Yunnan, we will have a green tea that actually is meant to be aged.
This is another commonality with the Yunsi, which we kind of aged a little bit accidentally. Wasn't recommended particularly, but it turned out, I would say it improved.
Yeah, I just bought too much, so we had too much
Yeah.
left, and we didn't kept it in the fridge, and it was really improving. And so we restarted selling after a while. We removed it actually from the shop because it's too old, and then we liked it, and we say, yeah, why? And also in this case, we will offer larger quantities, so that if you guys want to store and want to save money by the gram, so we won't have only the classic 20 gram and 50 gram. We might have a 100 for sure. Maybe we might have a 200 or a 300. I don't know. We'll find out. I said we are still unpacking.
But we'll sell some of it this year already, at least.
We'll start selling soon. So by the time you watch this video, this tea will be online.
Oh, okay.
Finger crossed. Okay, still a little bit hot. So it's at 89 degrees. I do like this.
Okay. Say 90 seconds is a common...
Yeah, we do 90 seconds as the third steep. And so, Dimitri, we didn't discuss before this video the details of the discount we're going to do. So we have to find out now. The fact is that there are 2 fridges at the moment in this warehouse. One is still half full with green tea from the past year. And soon we will add additional green tea. So we don't want to buy an additional fridge. There's no room in here, by the way. And timer.
Yep.
And so we would like to offer you the green tea from the past year that has been stored in the fridge for a year, so it's still very fresh actually, for a major discount. So the way we discussed is, let's have, some days ago we said an offer where when you buy new green tea, you will have, let's say, 50%?
Something like, I think for a certain amount of green tea from this year, a certain discount, maybe 50% on a certain amount of tea
Of last year.
From last year.
All right, let's do like this.
You're just gonna sort of
I'm
spin out,
thinking,
improv
yeah,
a
I'm thinking.
discount.
So I hope it's not too difficult to implement. So let's try. But I would say, if you buy at least 3 pouches of green tea 2022, not the 6 gram samples, at least the 50 grams, 3 pouches, you get 50% discounts on 3 pouches of your choice of green tea, Chinese green tea, let's limit to Chinese green tea from the past year.
Wow, okay. Another 15 seconds.
Yeah. 4 pouches, you get 4 pouches, up to 4 pouches of discount.
Okay.
If you buy 5 pouches or more, as many as you want with 50% discount.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's I think it's quite generous. I mean the teas are it can go now, yeah. The teas from last year are still quite good condition. We've tasted a couple of them and they're really quite fine. When you refrigerate the green tea, it stays good for a surprisingly long while.
Yeah.
Especially compared to what happens outside of the fridge.
And I suggest actually, since we have a few come back, so buy, for example, a Bilochun from the past year, if it's still available, I don't know, and a Bilochun from this year, or another tea, so that you can see right away the difference between a fresh one and a 1 year old. Of course, it's not exactly everything the same. It was another year.
Yeah,
but still,
different variables in the growing, the climate, and so forth.
Yeah.
But a Ganlu, for example, I think we definitely still have some of that.
And then we get some new one. We just packed it before, so Ganlu is a great example actually, because it's a very sweet and fresh tea. So let's find out how the sweetness have changed after a year. We bought one of the same price class. This year there is the prices, but unfortunately, so it costed actually to us a little bit more, but they told us it is the same level as the one we bought last year.
Okay, good. So good vertical comparison, if you will, to the analogy.
It's very consistent.
Yeah, it's not decreased much. Maybe the astringency is increased very slightly.
Yeah, no bitterness, a little bit astringent in the mouth.
It's very nice already. Now I'm really curious as to how it will develop over time.
So we won't test it too often. We will taste it maybe now, then again in 6 months, and again, because if you keep on drinking it, you don't notice the difference. But and we will store this tea out of the fridge. Yeah, that's also the suggestion they gave us. They say store it out of the fridge. It's made for aging, so we'll do that. Yeah. So which adjective do you have in mind?
Well, I definitely want to get at the now we usually give sort of 3 taste adjectives. In the description, I definitely want to allude to the texture, because I think the texture is quite notable. It's a little bit viscous, a little bit syrupy, that then goes a little bit more astringent. It's come on, but nicely so. I mean, I enjoy that a little bit, this kind of prickling astringency as you go on. I think, I'm not sure if I want to go directly pineapple, but something in that direction.
Didn't you also mention that at the first sip it was a bit pungent?
Pungent? Yeah, that could be in there. I'm getting from the nose a little bit of, interestingly, some darker kind of fruit. Like, just from the nose, a little bit of like a berry. Maybe even, actually a dark berry, but very, very light. When it's so subtle, I'm not sure if that's what the 3 adjectives you should usually kind of give a general arc, not all the flavors you find, but a few different ones that give you the reader a broad sense of what the character of the tea is like. So It's a little bit tricky because normally with a green tea, I'd probably mention at least something in the vegetable direction, right?
Yeah, but now that you say
here-
fruity, I have a fruit in Waldbeer that I have in mind.
Yeah,
It's called Jelsi, or so it's like Brombeer in German. I don't know.
It's just I think just the blackberry, the one with the
yes.
like really that blackberry.
And it has a little bit that scent, a tiny bit, as you say that.
Not
Although
so
the
much in the
color doesn't
tongue.
remind. No. But,
in the
it's
aroma,
the smell
right?
of the wet liquor actually.
So whether it's nice. Whether include that or not, I'm not sure. Here the vegetality, thank you, is not so strong. You could say something
it's
a
not
little bit.
it's not so grassy.
I could say, particularly with a little bit of astringency, sugar snap peas or snow peas, the ones without the whole peas in, but a little bit when you eat the pods, there's also a little bit of that more astringency that you get.
But like for example, adjective like broccoli, spinach, artichokes, asparagus is completely not in there for me. Yeah, is
or like bitter greens. Sometimes you get in teas, which is not surprising that it tastes like bitter greens because it more or less is these kind of leaves. But some teas very much have that taste. Here, wouldn't use that adjective. Even sometimes I just might say vegetal to give it this broad, leafy green taste. And here it would seem to be an exaggeration. So I might go with snow peas or sugar snap peas.
Yeah.
Very light, clean, a little bit astringent.
I like the snow peas just because the snow brings out the freshness that is still in there. But if you will describe that, you will read that description maybe in 1 or 2 years, we will have to change it. But we will see. Maybe we had a disclaimer that the tasting was done, at
Develops
that time.
over time.
And,
I mean, it's a little bit true with all teas. That there's always sometimes a little bit of development that can occur, some more than others. It's exciting.
No, go ahead.
I was curious if you know more about if the Hakka, if this is a traditional type of green tea or if they've been producing the same type for a while.
So they have been producing this tea. Yes, I asked about that. They have been producing this tea since the Qing dynasty, but the Qing dynasty, was very long. So it is more than 100 years, but not too much more than that, let's say. And that's all I know about the tea. Yeah, that's today. I still can of course ask back more information. I will ask if he knows the name of the cultivar, if it's like a local variety, or I'll certainly ask for it. So this one is to finish. We have a power steep, so it was 100 degrees, maybe for 2 minutes.
Oh wow! So the state of the
definitely way more oily.
It's a little bit of roastiness that comes out of the lid.
Now that you say roastiness, what you don't have here is you don't have any smoke. Sometimes when tea is done by minorities, they work a lot with fire and you get the smoky taste. He's very clean here, nothing at all, to me.
It's true.
So it has lost that sweetness without getting bitter. So more texture, of course, more body.
A little less fruity directly.
Yeah.
I think you could still say fruity, but not directly. More vegetal, more in the direction of that, but still not still not bitter greens or anything like that.
Quite resilient to heat though. So when you challenge a green tea with 100 degrees for 2 minutes, is may react a little bit like, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah, it depends. Something like a bilo chun goes really bitter.
All right, Dimitri, we have tons of other boxes to unpack.
Yeah.
So we'll say goodbye and we continue with this box. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.